Good evening, folks. We're back again. CSGB Racing, ready for the F2 sprint race with the reverse grid. This will be our first sprint race that we've streamed, so expect mayhem. Joining me again tonight is CSGB Ben, or Rainman, should I say. How you doing?
Hello, not too bad. Looking forward to this.
Good. I'm going to let you do a little bit of talking while I send out the social stuff.
Okay. I just quickly run through the results from last night. So it was a great win for AlphaTauri, as I predicted, with FNR Oostbe taking the victory ahead of a strong showing from James Dovey from Williams and Bowers, the other podium finisher for Ferrari, but they're going to have to work their way through the field tonight, over 14 laps round Bahrain. They start from the back, with the exception of Kieran and Bannister, a new driver who's partner in Urspa in the AlphaTauri. They start at the back, having missed last night. So it's Haas on the front row, looking to avenge, I would say, their disappointment last night. But that's the purpose, really, of these sprint races, offering an immediate shot at redemption, as the drivers in the most critical part of this phase is making sure they load a setup, something which can occasionally go wrong in a sprint race, and getting their strategy ready. Not too much strategy necessary around here. It should be a simple soft medium or medium soft, but we'll see how it goes.
Social's done. Look at that, with 12 seconds to spare as well.
It's not bad.
Okay. Hopefully everyone has remembered, as you say, to put a setup in, because there will be no restarts.
Hopefully.
So the guys get ready for a formation lap, and as you've said, a complete reversal of the grid. We just wait for the game to allow me to change the camera angle. Wonderful, there we are. So predicted pit stop strategies will be a majority of the field starting on softs. They'll then be looking to switch to mediums after 4 or 5 laps, maybe a little bit more. I wouldn't want to go too far on the softs into this race. And who knows, we could have our first safety car in F2 as well as we have a look. So, we've
someone's gone.
Norwich fan off in the background there. He's had a coming together with JW, so they'll be put back onto the grid ready for the start of the race. We'll have to get that footage in from the drivers. But what I was going to say was 2 starters on the mediums. We've got Rizanovsky, one of the Alfa Romeo drivers, taking the medium tyres. And we've got Bowers, who came on strong at the end of the race last night. He's taken the mediums as well. So good news for the Alfa Romeos and the Ferrari teams, as their drivers will be running completely different strategies. However, starting on the medium tyres, possibly a bit of a problem if a safety car comes out early on.
Well, the softs aren't going to do almost full race distance, so I mean that would be my strategy if there is a lap 1 safety car, to get off the softs and onto the mediums, because in this race where it's pretty much all one stop, you need to try and save as much time as you can, and a safety car pit stop does exactly that.
So, a couple of drivers who weren't with us last night. We've got Kieran, who unfortunately had to miss last night's race, but he is back for the sprint. So the way it works with us is if the drivers are going to miss the feature race, unfortunately they don't get to start from the front of the sprint race, because that's just not fair on the way the order works. The reason Kieran is in front of Bannister, well, Bannister only signed up to our league today. Kieran already being a fully fledged CSGB driver, he gets, I suppose, priority, as it were. So we wait for the cars to line up. The lights come on. The race will start when the cars move, though, not necessarily when the lights go out. The engine's rev, so it looks like they're a bit delayed as usual, and we're go. And it looks like JW's got himself a fantastic start there. We've got some position changes going on in the field. We've got an AlphaTauri on the grass in the background, but it looks like Absi's jumped the start. Mikey's gone up the inside. Oh, it's all getting a bit close in there. Oh dear.
Oh, Adam's Mercedes. Adam looked like he got the biggest whack.
Yep, we've got an Alfa Romeo who's got a bit of damage there as well. Oh, it's just getting very tight coming through turn 4. But yeah, Adam has picked up some big damage. There is, we've got cars still.
A few wide.
Oh, a lunge from one of the Haas drivers there on the Alfa Romeo. And I think both the Alfa Romeos now have damage on their wing. Take a look at Rizanovsky. Rizanovsky's missing a right end plate, and Pelderagis is intact. However, he's going to want to get past. Oh, it's Dovey! Clips the inside of the Alfa Romeo and half spins. And
he's got through while all of this. Look at Absi out front. He's 3 seconds clear.
Oh, there's another bit of wing flying around in the background. Not sure who that's come off, but we're about to find out as the cars will dive into the pits.
Rizanovsky in. Dovey and Tomasz following, and all of
Norwich fan has stayed out. He's had to, I think, because his teammate's gone in, but he is missing both end plates, so that is going to be a difficult car to get around the circuit. As we go back to the front, so Absi making amends for his retirement last night. He's had a great start from the front, and he's now 2.5 seconds clear. Anton chasing him down in the Ferrari with just Mikey in third. JW in fourth. Pro Mayhem up to fifth. And Pelderagis in sixth. And our race winner from last night, Uspo, he is all the way up to seventh. So looking good at the moment. We've got Kieran, who's moved up 6 places to 8th. And Bannister, who's also moved up 6 places. So our winners here from the start. Anton massively with 5 positions gained. Pro Mayhem 4. And then Uspo, Kieran and Bannister have all moved up 6 places. Our losers, Norwich fan losing 7 places. Adam Geck, our big loser, losing 7 places and going to the back of the field. 13 seconds off of the car in front. Ooh. We did say that...
Well, Rizanovsky, Bowers and Adam have all gone to the hards.
Okay, interesting strategy.
That I wasn't expecting.
Yep, I've just put the tyres up now for people watching to see.
Kieran picking up 3 seconds already.
Well,
just running out of the last corner.
Possibly some of that could have come from avoiding the mayhem that was going on around him. So Absi's lead cut down to 1.6 seconds as Anton reels him in. Pro Mayhem looks like he's just got a move done on JW. JW coming back strong though. Not a place to try and run side by side or overtake through here.
Yeah, Bannister and Norwich fan into the pits. Norwich fan onto the hards. Bannister the mediums, which I think should fairly comfortably be able to get to the end. Only 12 laps
JW outbrakes himself into the hairpin one more time. This now allows Pelderagis to open up the DRS, but...
Oh, Thomas and Dovey very close, and Rizanovsky in behind. I think Thomas has lost out massively there. I think lost 2 places in one go.
Yes, I'm just going back to the front, and it looks like JW's struggling with something. He's not able to cling on to the back of Pro Mayhem, and Pelderagis has moved up behind him. Now JW has dropped out of the DRS, but Pelderagis and Uspo haven't. Uspo goes for a lunge into turn 1, makes the apex. Does he get the move done though? Is that Alfa Romeo still on the outside?
Yeah,
nope.
Held the yields.
He's through. So Uspo up to 6th now. Absi holding the gap at 1.6 out in front.
Valderragas just didn't have the line through turn 2 and had to get out of that.
Be interesting to see what Pro Mayhem can do. Obviously, unfortunate to lag out of the race last night at the start, so he lost a lot of positions after a solid qualifying, and then came on strong at the end of the race.
He
when
still
he got
managed
back
to
in.
salvage a solid result. He 5th place last night and 4th in the running here.
4th in the running and only 0.7 off the car in front of him.
See, this could be undercut territory. I think if you can get in.
Yeah, this now, if I was sat in the position of Pro Mayhem, I'd be looking at jumping into the pits as JW picks up a 3-second time penalty. And again, something that can be a big factor in these races are the penalties, because there's not a great amount of laps for the cars to spread out.
No. Pro Mayhem lining up. Just Mikey, surely.
He's already got the move done there.
On the start
As
finish
we come
straight.
down into turn 1, slots back onto the racing line and just about makes turn 1. A little compromised through 2, but he's got enough of a gap on Mikey now to hold that.
Absy's lead's sort of coming down steadily.
Yeah, down to a second now, so...
Was 3 seconds after 1 lap. It's now just over a second.
Oh, we've got Norwich fan out of the session. He's lost it.
12. Turn 12.
Now, are we going to see a safety car? Or is he that far off the track?
I've got a full course yellow, but it hasn't come up if it's a safety car or a virtual.
There's no safety car on the track map, so everyone seems to be...
virtual. I think it's a virtual safety car, because the track map is all yellow.
Yeah. Yeah, Norwich fan's car has been removed from the circuit already, and it looks like...
I went into race director, I've come back. It is a virtual safety car and it's over. It's ending now. Green, we go.
Green, the track is green. I was a bit worried then we were going to have a glitch where the entire rest of the race was run under a VSC.
And the leaders are in.
So Anton into the pits. Pro Mayhem stays out for another lap. JW obviously stays out as well as his teammates in the pits. Usbu moves up to 3rd, Pelleraga's 4th, Kieran 5th. Absy comes into the pits. It's on the medium tyres. There's a big gap from Mikey to James Dovey, so I think these guys
James
are going to come out.
So
he's now coming round the last corner. So
they're going to be well clear.
Now we'd be looking to say that Pro Mayhem would respond this lap and come into the pits and put the medium tyres on, as would JW, Usbo, Peldy, and Kieran.
I think these are a big couple of laps. Always looking to push on your in lap or your out lap. Usbo closing in on JW.
Well, Pro Mayhem is only 20.2 seconds ahead of Absy, who has done his stop.
I think he was about 4 or 5 behind. It's 24, 25 pit delta, roughly around here.
Yeah, he's moved the gap up to 3.6 of a JW. Osbo close in behind. So Pro Mayhem comes out of the final corner. Does he dive into the pits? He does. Does he slow down enough in time? He does.
Keeps going.
JW stays out for another lap. Osbo into the pits. Peldy into the pits. Kieran into the pits. And we jump to our previous leader of the race, Absy, as he comes around the final corner. He should now jump into 2nd position, but have a net lead of the race.
Yeah, everyone except for JW has now made their 1 pit stop.
Okay, so Absy comes into the final corner. Norwich fan leaves the session. Unfortunate to lose the car on the tricky part of the circuit through turn 12.
Bowers has got Rivzanovsky on the start finish straight in the DRS. before the corner.
Down into turn 1. So Bauer's
Through
on the
to
hard
11.
tyres now, but... Oh, as Dovey gets past Kieran.
That's at turn 4.
Kieran very
Nice
close in
move.
behind the Williams.
Kieran's on these fresh mediums, having just pit, so...
Yeah, I think Kieran... Obviously, Dovey's mediums will be up to temperature.
Yeah.
They'll only have a couple more optimum laps in them, though. So if Kieran just plays the patient game, sits in the DRS, Dovey should be easy pickings at the end of the race for him. Kieran's got a lot of overtake left, so as long as he uses it wisely. So we go back to the front. JW into the pits. Now JW is going to be coming out around 7th.
Yeah, I would think so.
Absi goes past. Anton goes past. Pro Mayhem down the finish straight, and he's closing in massively. Sets a purple final sector on them new mediums. Is he going to get the move done on Anton into turn 1? Would be a big lunge from there. It'd be better off to line him up through 2 and get the run with the DRS down the next straight. Gets a good exit. Opens up the DRS. Opens up the overtake as well, and he gets the move done.
JW's out in 7th
Great
place.
driving. Anton comes back at him though. Oof. So that's Pro Mayhem up to P2. Now is he going to focus on hunting Absi down? And he looks like, if he can, I think if we're going to go with predictions, I'd say Pro Mayhem, looking at his pace, has got this one. He's still got 38% of his overtake left, although Absi's got 50%, so...
I think they've been pacing pretty well.
Just Mikey going nicely in 4th. We've got Usbo in 5th. Peldy in 6th. JW dropped down to 7th. Dovey just in behind him. Kieran not too far behind either. Thomas a couple further seconds back. Absi at the moment looking controlled. Pro Mayhem sets the fastest lap of the race with a 29.0. Strong lap that.
Worth a very important point, but he's closing in.
He's now in the DRS as well, so this is where it now becomes very easy to reel the car in front of you in. He looks very good through turn 4 and then through this tight twisty sector. Takes a lot of curb on the right, just a touch on the left and a little bit on the exit. He's closing him down massively. I mean, he's taken 3 tenths out of him just through that sector. Half a second out of him now, and this could be over before the end of the next DRS straight. Now it looks like Absi's using his overtake to stay in front. Pro Mayhem can be patient.
Yeah, I think it's just being patient. Oh, that's a bit too much curve there. He had to lift. That's a good run.
Yeah, so
it's a good run out of 13.
Play the patient game through the final corner. Get yourself lined up. A nice run. Get on the power. Turn everything up to full, and open up that DRS. Absi has a very quick car in a straight line though, so this isn't going to be easy. He moves to the inside, and Absi very late on the brakes.
Oh, Absi runs very wide. Has it into 2.
He's got the DRS now, so this should be the move done. As they come down, Absi again. Ooh, big squeeze there, and Absi's still there. This is great battling from the 2 drivers. Real clean racing. Great work from Absi there to hold him off, but I think his time is numbered. Absi now down to 25% of his overtake.
I just saw James Dovey got the move done on JW, so he sort of jumped the gap to that sort of top half of racers who didn't have to.
Absi goes defensive. We've only got 4 and a bit laps left of the race.
Yeah, it does go quick.
So Pro Mayhem sits behind now.
He's a lot closer this time, I think, going into the final corner.
Yep. If you look at Absi's straight line speed, he must be running very low wings.
No, he's got it this time, I think.
Yep, that's the move done. Absi jumps into the slipstream now to try and hold on a little bit. Absi will have DRS on the next straight. Pro Mayhem runs it very deep through 1, but he seems to get the power down for 2, and he's pulled the gap.
He's defensive on the inside. He's looking to switch back.
Yep, he's not going to get that done. He's going to have to yield that.
No, Pro Mayhem gets the racing line and gets in front.
And that should be that.
Don't count Anton out just yet. He's right there to take advantage of any mistake, or any penalty for that matter.
Well, this gap's already up to 9/10. Pro Mayhem is making his escape. He just needs to break that DRS before the start-finish straight. We're almost another lap over and done with. Battles down the field. We've got Thomas very close to Bowers. These two battling last night for the final podium spot, rekindling that relationship in tonight's sprint race.
For the final point.
So Kieran, 2 seconds off of JW. Remember, JW's got a 3-second time penalty. So at the moment, Kieran does have a net P8. Dovey now under a second to Pelderagas, so he's got 2 and a bit more laps to get him. He's in the DRS, so we should reel the gap in nicely. Pelderagas is just out of the DRS in front of him.
Thomas could be looking at go on Bowers here. No, not quite close enough.
No, and Bowers is on the hard tyres, so Thomas is going to be wanting to try and get that move done as soon as possible, because it's not going to be much longer until the delta on them tyres is equal.
He's struggling as well in the dirt, yeah, through this sort of tight, twisty section of the track on the infield. Look at Anton in P3 now, he's within half a second.
Right up behind Absi. Yep, this should be, although he has no overtake left, he's down to 2%.
No, at all. I think drivers are still coming to grips with learning the new sort of slash overtake system.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to get on the defensive and just use it all up, because it does go quickly, and this is such a hard track to recharge it at. You can see there he had the DRS, but because he had no overtake, wasn't able to make a move. You know, the good place to be in at the moment is someone like Pro Mayhem, 2.2 in front. He can sort of save it up as much as possible. Just use it when he's exiting the slow corners to give himself that extra little bit of boost. If he makes a little mistake, he can just sort of use 5% up just to get himself going again. Oh, Thomas has made the move on Bowers. So that's Thomas into the final point scoring position for tonight's race. Oh, just Mikey spun. Just Mikey has spun.
Oh, and
he has no damage. Just lost the car coming out of the slow right-hander. Oh, we've lost Adam from the session as well.
Currently in the last of the running. Yeah, that's cost just Mikey 3 spots. JW and... Sorry, Pelderagas, Dovey and JW all gone through.
Yeah, so Pelderaga's up to 5th. Usbo not making the headway into Anton that he really wanted to, I would imagine. He's 3.8 seconds behind as they come on to the last lap now.
Adam rejoins.
Yeah, fair play to that. I mean, even though he knows it's the last lap and he's back where he is, coming in to finish the race. Dovey gets past Pelderaga's.
Pelderaga's turn 1.
Yeah, looks like he's got that done.
Gets the line.
Now,
yeah, that's a nice way to do
does
it.
Peldy get him back?
Both at the bare limits of their ERS using them all.
Yeah,
no, I don't think
Peldy
so.
leaving his on the exit of the corner, which I wouldn't recommend on tyres that are becoming a little bit worn. Just Mikey and JW come together there, and it looks like JW is going to hold that one. Is he? Mikey's on the inside. Very tight through there. Kieran.
Tippy tappy.
Oh. Mikey spins it up out of the corner that he lost it out on the last lap as well. Kieran rubbing his hands together with this. Because he's just thinking, you lot crack on. Bowers has gone back past Thomas. What's happened with Thomas? Has he lost it coming out of the hairpin as well?
I think it's just the tyres starting to give way. Remember, JW's got that 3 seconds.
So we need to jump back to the front as Pro Mayhem comes down the back straight into the final corner. It looks like he's comfortable to take his first win of the season. And he'll feel that's some sort of redemption after lagging out from last night's race. Comes across the line, gives us a little weave and takes the checkered flag. Absi holds on for second. Anton takes P3. Usbo, our last night's winner, comes off the line.
JW's out of fuel.
Oh, JW's out of fuel.
He's going to drop out the points.
He is, as Thomas comes past and takes him for P10. And Rizanovsky takes him on his 3-second penalty as well. Bannister, our newcomer to the league, comes out of the final corner. He takes the checkered flag in 13th. And Adam, all of them drivers picking up a bit of damage, it seemed, on the first lap, takes P14. And unfortunately, we lost Norwich fan early on in the race, losing it through turn 12. But yes, true indeed. They are tough to keep up with.
A lot can happen in such a short race.
I think driver of the day they're awarded by the game is spot on, really.
I won't have too many complaints.
Kept it clean, stayed out of trouble, and takes the checkered flag in first place. A great drive from Pro Mayhem.
It's the same graphic as last night on the podium, but this time it's legitimate.
This time it is legit, yes. And Absi takes a well-fought second place. Held on there at the end over Anton, who will be delighted to step onto the podium as well. So we'll just give you a quick rundown of the results. Okay, so Pro Mayhem takes the win and fastest lap with a 29.0. Yep. If you want to check that that's clean.
It was.
We've got Absi in P2. Anton, who started 7th, comes home in P3. Usbo, 13th on the grid, comes home in P4, showing that that win last night wasn't a fluke. Dovey comes home in 5th after starting 12th, and then we've got Pelderagus, Mikey, Bowers, Kieran and Thomas finishing out the points. A strong race from Kieran there as well. Started P14 and made up 5 places into 9th. Rizanovsky, JW, Bannister, Adam out of the points, and unfortunately our DNF this race was to Norwich fan, who lost it through turn 12. An unfortunate start to the race for him as well after getting caught up. But that is it for the sprint race. So that's the full round 1 of F2 completed. A great couple of races, I'd say.
I think so. And I think very close among pretty much the whole field. I think this championship could be wide open as we move on in the season.
Definitely. So just on to that. Next week we are back for CSGB racing. We've got the F1 guys going into Australia on Monday night for their feature race from 7 o'clock UK time. And then we've got the sprint race from 7 o'clock UK time on the Tuesday. That will be shortly followed by F2's feature race on Tuesday from 8 PM UK time at Australia. And then their sprint race will be taking place, as it did tonight, a week later, 7 PM UK time on the Wednesday. Thank you for those that joined us for the stream tonight. A little bit quiet in the chat tonight, but I think it's one of them ones that you can't really take your eyes off. You have to try and keep an idea of what's going on. I've done nothing but click madly on my controller to go through the field.
No rest time.
No, not at all. So thank you for joining us. That is it from us for this week. We will be back next week, as I mentioned. Other than that, take care. Good luck with your racing, and we'll see you all soon.